Hey there, y'all. Disney D Prince here today with the third part of our How to Repaint a Modern Barbie to Look Like a Classic Barbie. In this part, we are tackling one of the black wheelchair Barbies that came from a made to move body, and we are going to try to make her look a little different than the others, too. Now, if you haven't watched part 1 and 2, check them out for how we worked on these two together. And they've both been added to their model muse bodies already. And so I have 6 more of these to do that are on my back little head storage thing after I finish this one. But I wanted to do this one because I have like the most of my darker dolls are this doll. So we are going to, of course, be working with our regular just art acrylics. Nothing special about our supplies. Now your acrylics can bleed through into your vinyl. If you are worried about that, just hit it with a quick top coat of the Mr. Super Clear Matte before you start the painting process. I don't bother with that because these heads aren't rare and this is more just a fun thing for me to do. So we are, of course, today going to be using our precision Q-tips and good old-fashioned toothpicks. So, as usual, our first step is we are going to be outlining the whites of the eyes. We want to try to get as much of the eye shape down in this first step as we can, just to make things easier on us going forward. And again, we're just doing little dots to try to minimize the amount of work we have to do for ourselves later. And as you can see, we're already bringing life back to her face. One eye will always be easier to do than the other. That's just the will of the art gods at work right there. Because if something is too beautiful, you must add a flaw. So there we have our whites of our eyes ready to go. We are going to hit her with the hairdryer and be right back. Remember, if I am cutting the video, it's because I'm just hitting them with the hairdryer and coming right back. I'm not adding extra steps. Okay, and we've got our first coat dried on there. Now, generally what I like to do is use the Q-tip for the second coat, just to get a more even distribution of paint, so we don't wind up with like a dot here and there of open space. Sometimes that can go poorly for us because the Q-tip does not have as much precision when it splooches as the toothpick does. Because of the amount of paint it holds. But pretty good. And now what we want to do is we want to lay down our first layer of lip color, which I think for this one, we're going to go with an even darker, actually, you know what? I think we're going to go with an orange lip. That sounds like fun. I was thinking I wanted to use orange for her somewhere, and I wasn't sure where it was going to wind up. But we figured it out. So I'm actually going to just use the top of that little sealant thing. And we are going to try our best to get the lip shape outlined with orange. Again, remember, we're just going for that Cupid's bow shape at the top of the lip is all that we really need to make sure that it looks like lips. Not to say if you don't have a Cupid's bow, it's not lips. It's just we're going for that vintage Barbie feel. And give her just as much as she can handle on here. Again, we're not completely following the lip mold. But we are making it as lip-like as we can. And sometimes the lips are just going to do what they want. And we just kind of have to guide it. Okay. I'm thinking her bottom lip needs to be a little bit bigger. Just a tad to go with this mold. Okay. And then we'll hit her with the hairdryer and see where we're at, if we need a second coat or not. Okay. So we have our lip shape. She does need just a little bit more. It dries a little thin. So what we'll try to do is just do the second coat very gently over our first coat. Just a little bit more color to add there. Yeah. Okay. So we're happy with that. But now we've got to do her irises. We've got to do the color parts of her eyes. Now, we tried the darker blue and lightening it a little bit, but what I want to do this time already is I want to use this light blue that we have. And now I've shaken it just a little bit. I'm going to use whatever lands on the cap. Just as our little whatchamacallit. And then for our pupils, or for our irises, we're just using our Q-tip. This might be a little sticky still. And we'll give just that little bit right here. Just right there. Just right there. Okay, just like that. And then we will hit her with the blow dryer and be right back. Okay, and we're back with our irises and our second layer of lips that are done, and she is coming across on the camera much better now as a face. So our next one that we're going to work with is we are going to do her lash line. I think we're actually going to do the half circle with like the bigger lid than we did last time. So without doing the flare at the end. So I'm just going to use, oh, not that one. That one's dented, like hella dented. It's got black paint on it. How was that one not thrown away? Use one of our precision ones. And we're going to try to do this carefully in one little fell swoop, hopefully. Oh, well, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. Basta. Okay, we're going to try this with the paddle, I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's going to make us repaint that iris, but it's okay. It's just a dot of blue paint. Okay. All right. Well, we tried and we failed on that one. But that's okay. This is all an experiment, right? We're gonna refill our eyes. Okay. And remember, whatever we wind up not liking, we can just take off with acetone. It's not the end of the world. But we're gonna get there, don't worry. Just using a little bit of air drying right there. Got to do the whatchamacallit right here in our corner where we had to repaint just a little bit. All right, well, that looks atrocious, but we're going to hit her with the hairdryer and clean it up with some acetone. Okay, now that she is dry, we're going to grab our acetone. We've got our nail polish remover, 100% acetone, just to take off this acrylic. Because we are going to use this to clean it up. Okay. One eye is slightly bigger than the other still. So we're going to do it just a little bit of the paint. She's got pretty big eyes, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So, we are going to decide what we're going to do with her eyeliner now. As we tried to do it with just the toothpaste, not the toothpaste, the what's the word? Oh, it doesn't matter. The end of things, does it? If we just do it like that, it's fine. So if we just do it like that, it's cute. So let's hit her with the hairdryer and see if we need to do another coat. So we've got her dry, As you can see, we do see that upper eyeliner just a little bit. Now it's time to do the pupil, which we're going to do over here, just a little bit. Again, we want our girls to be giving side eye. This is a sassy household, just like that. And then our little pinpricks of light we want to do. Just a little bit up there, where the light's coming from. And bada bing, bada boom. We've got eyes that have depth. And so our next step that we're going to do, because we want her lips to pop like her girlfriend's, is we are going to utilize our quick drying top coat. And first I got to take some of this paint and close it up so it doesn't dry out even more. My blue is all stuck at the top, but I don't know why. But what we want to do is take our super drying nail polish. This is just a quick top coat. It also serves as a sealant. I put a little bit too much on there, but we're gonna move it around so it's in the right spot. And use our toothpicks to press them in. And use our whatchamacallit to take it off where we don't need it. And it's just a bit like that, just to give her a little bit more polish. And we're going to hit her with the hairdryer, and we'll be right back. And now that we've got that pretty much dried, we can do just a little bit of manipulation to make sure we get that middle air bubble out, because we want to make sure our lips still look like two lips. Just a little bit. And it looks a little more natural that way. And now we can clean up that top coat just a little bit from that little track that rolled off the side on us, because we used a little bit too much. We can just use just a little bit of the acetone to clean up this shiny spot. Okay. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. So she looks pretty good, I think. Again, we're going for the fashion queen, kind of vintage feel look, just for the fun of it. And I think she looks pretty good. We could also do the little nose spots if we feel like it, which I seem to always forget to do that till I'm looking at that doll. And it's because I'm thinking she doesn't have the nose spots like the vintage ones do, or like the vintage designs do. And so I forget. Just want to use just a little bit of the black paint, just the teeniest amount right inside the nostril. Just to give ourselves that kind of vintage Barbie print face. As what we'll do is right here is just clean it up along the outside with our acetone, which actually needs a little bit more acetone because it smudged that paint around more than I would have liked. Okay, let me grab the acetone again. I keep pouring this acetone out early because I'm thinking I'm done. And I am not done. But if you leave the acetone just straight out, it actually starts to evaporate too quickly. So I don't recommend just leaving some sitting there. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. And for some reason, it does not want to focus on her. There we go. I think she looks cute. Her eyes are a little wonky, but her lips look cute. And honestly, we could have done worse. She looks about on par with what we've done with our other two girls so far. So I think she's gonna get a body, and we're gonna see who we want to do next. All right, y'all. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like. And as always, be good, y'all. Bye.